Shalom Akim, Yahba Hashem Yahushua Barakatam, Ba'Hashem Kwakadash. This is Brother Nasha DC Camp with a brief lesson to edify the sincere brothers during the walk of Yahba Hashem Yahushua, as well as the elders, that rule well, double honors and salutations to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do the work of Yahba Hashem Yahushua with all sincerity and diligence of mind. Because, the issue with Trump's administration, it's a reflection of Esau's power structure crumbling. Esau's rulership is coming to an end. And then the Mosai is letting us know, man, day in, day out, there's always some madness that's being spewed out on the TV. You go online, look at Yahoo News, CNN, CBS, ABC, MSNBC. It's always, nothing but bad news about Esau's kingdom. Everything is just falling apart for these Edomites, man. And their heads are being twisted back and forth, man. They're all confused. They're not on the same page. There's so much dissension, contention between them, unnecessary debates, because the Mosai is giving them the signs that their kingdom is going to come to an end very soon, and they're upset. So all we're seeing right now is the evidence, man. The end of Edom's rulership. So I'll play this video, as per all these so-called intelligence officials that on the enemies list of the Trump administration, they're losing their secret clearance, their top secret clearance.
President Trump has made good on a threat to strip a leading critic of his security clearance. John Brennan was CIA director under President Obama. He's been scathing in his comments about Mr. Trump's conduct, including accusing him of making treasonous statements at his meeting with Russia's President Putin. Today, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders read a statement by the president charging that Brennan has used his security access to make, quote, unfounded and outrageous claims.
Mr. Brennan's line and recent conduct, characterized by increasingly frenzied commentary, is wholly inconsistent with access to the nation's most closely held secrets and facilities, the very aim of our adversaries, which is to sow division and chaos.
Brennan said later the action...
She said, the adversaries, sowing dissent and chaos, disagreements. So, America is going to go to war against Russia, whether they like it or not, because folks like, this former CIA director, they're put in there to make sure things go according to plan. Same thing with Trump, whoever is trying to resist, the plans for World War III, they're going to get squashed, The prophets, the men of the Lord talk about it. That's why these folks at the bottom, they are pissed off, man. They want to have a blissful, happy ending here in America. They want to live in a fairy tale world. But that's not the way it was set up. America was set up to go to war. That's what keeps America's heart pumping. War, destruction, deception, So there's nothing these peons could do, man. That's the way the game is being played. The elites have to eat, and they do anything to keep that appetite going.
Was politically motivated, but insisted he will not be muzzled. The president's statement added that the clearances of 8 other high-ranking former officials are under review. Lawyers made closing arguments today in the trial of Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chair. Federal prosecutors said the case comes down to, in their words, Mr. Manafort and his lies. The defense accused the government of cherry-picking information to support charges of bank and tax fraud.
And these folks like this, Paul Manafort guy, man, they're everywhere, man. It's just that they haven't been exposed yet. They're on the books. The IRS decides who and who they want to go after. Because IRS is also part of the game, man. It's a big game that's been played before our eyes. So how the situation is going to unfold. It's going to cause so much tension between between the people of the nation. Then you add the protests that happened in the D.C. area on Sunday. They said the so-called white supremacists, they didn't really show up in force, but hey, it is what it is, man. The contention is there. The counter-protesters, showed up. They outnumbered the so-called white nationalists. So it doesn't matter, how much of an effort folks try to squash their oppositions. It's still gonna come out in the same results, man. They end up losing.
We'll get a full report later in the program. The U.S. Senate has returned to work with more Democrats agreeing to meet with President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. He called today on Indiana's Joe Donnelly and North Dakota's Heidi Heitkamp, both from Republican majority states and both up for re-election this fall. Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings are scheduled to begin September the 4th.
Yep, that's when school's gonna come back in session. So you could imagine, man, America's falling apart, man. It's so messed up. What are you gonna do about it? There's nothing. So Yabashim Yashai is in charge. He's gonna let his prophecies come to pass. Folks can be upset, lose sleep, through a temper tantrum, but it's gonna happen, man. And there's so much to talk about, but for the sake of sincerity and discipline, we just stick with the words of Yabashim Yashai, because that's the only words that hold substance. Words of substance. Yep, that's how messed up America is, man. That's messed up right there. So that's the state of America's situations, man. The state of America said a man got his hand on his head. A man that's supposed to be at the top of the food chain, but he's got problems, So let's see if the video is going to be played. All right, I could just rewind it from the beginning and see what's happening.
Jonathan, sir, first I've got a question I wanted to ask you, but first just to follow up on that. It seems like everybody that you mentioned has been a political critic of the president. Is he going after his political opponents with this?
No, if there were others that weren't, that we deemed necessary, we would certainly take a look and review those as well.
Okay, I want to ask you about something the president's attorney said. Rudy Giuliani said of special counsel Robert Mueller needs to write the damn report so we can see it and rebut it. And he said if it's not written within the next 2 or 3 weeks, quote, we will just unload on him like a ton of bricks. Is the president okay with his attorney threatening the special counsel in this way?
Certainly, we've made clear we'd like to see this wrap up. For questions specific about comments by Mr. Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him.
Was that authorized by the president?
Once again, for questions specific about the investigation, particularly comments from Rudy Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him to address those. Jeff?
Hey, Sarah, following up on John's question, how is this announcement by the president, how can Americans not interpret that as a getting back against his critics? And isn't it also an attempt to curtail their freedom of speech by penalizing them for being critical on television?
Not at all. The president has a constitutional responsibility to protect classified information and who has access to it, and that's what he...
And that's how America is falling apart, man. All these so-called folks that have a lot of them, man. The folks that you think they have this access to classified information, they're just selling it, man. It's a total bridge, man. They talk about it. They're going to the bar on the metro trains. What else? Wherever, even on the phones, man. They're talking all that bullshit. And then all of a sudden, they're asking yourself, how the hell did all this information get out? Folks take files, they copy that, they give it away, So politicians do the same thing too. They read through the files, they start, looking for the key points they gotta, use to make certain moves. And that's how they get rich, man, using classified information, man. All these so-called corporations that have contracts with the government, that have to create weapons of mass destruction, that have private contractors here and there. They all deal with classified information. So you could imagine how much money is being spent, to make sure they keep access to those classified information. So it's nothing new. It's been done for decades, man. It's been done for decades. So it's nothing out of the ordinary.
He's doing is fulfilling that responsibility in this action. This is actually specific to Mr. Brennan, and the others are currently under review.
Is this the kind of precedent he wants to set for future presidents when his administration is out of office? And why are there no Republicans on that list?
Once again, if we deemed it necessarily, we would certainly look into that and be happy to review those. Justin?
I wanted to ask about Turkey, but just to buttonhole on what Jeff said. I guess the reason people would say that this argument strains credibility is there's obvious examples, even from this administration. Your former national security advisor is admitted to lying to the FBI. Why is this only a list of Democrats who have been critical of the administration? And why should Americans have confidence that you are taking this seriously if there's not a single Republican on that list?
Again, certainly we would look at those if we deemed it necessary, and we'll keep you posted if that list gets updated.
On Turkey.
That's right. Keep the people posted. So that's about it for the video review. I'll go to the precepts now. Yeah, so Akim, it's so much madness going on in Babylon, man. You don't want to be a part of these circles, man. For those that work in governments, it's a constant headache. Dealing with all this madness. You can't even turn on the news. It's always some irrelevant stuff. But it's all that the Messiah he's doing to show that America is falling apart, man. They're not on the same page. These folks are just going after each other, like two rabid dogs. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13. Okay, start from verse 9. It says, the light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. So America's light is being put out, man. The whole feature of America is getting darkened day and night, So the economic situation is not really looking good. Corporations are shutting down their stores. Unemployment is still high. Homelessness is on the rise. Crime is going to increase also. So folks are going to have a hard time, man, trying to keep up, in a society that's falling apart. And then verse 10 says, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. So the contention in Babylon is getting heated, man. Trump's administration, his presidency, is always one headache after another. Always one headache. Talk about sexual assaults. They talk about corruption and bribery. They talk about collusion with the enemy. They talk about almost everything, man. That's so irrelevant. So that's man. There's so much madness going on in America, man. And the so-called news agencies, they can't even let the folks breathe in America. It's always constant pounding of worthless news, man. They got more pressing issues to cover. It's always some Jerry Springer shit they're always pulling on national TV, man. It's all a joke. But at the end of the day, man, they always say bread and circuses. That's exactly what the news media in America has turned into. Alright, so that's one precept, and the next precept will be from the book of Ecclesiastes. Read if you read chapter 1 and go towards the end, it says, "And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceived that this also is a vexation of spirit." So if you look at all the things going on in America, man, it's just gonna make you angry and angry and angry. It's make you pissed off, man. You see the ruthlessness, man. You see how things are just falling apart, man. It's folks trying to pretend as if they could hold it together, but they can't. So it's important that I can know that the Most High is pulling this plague, pulling this place down, man. It's pulling the plug on America, and the elites are upset. They'll do everything to demonize the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the prophets of the Lord. They do everything to come against the Bible, as well as folks that have a voice to speak on what's going on, man. And you start seeing folks with critical information, their channels start getting taken down off YouTube, Facebook or whatever, because Esau is afraid that the people are going to catch up. And once they do catch up, they won't be able to control them. So that's one thing, they don't want to lose grip of, man. They want control, total control. So they'll do whatever they can, man. So whatever tools they do have, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or their media, or their police agencies, whatever, just to hold the people down, hold the people back. So it's important to know that the wisdom of the Holy Scriptures, man, is going to make you free from all the confusion of this place. Then in verse 18 it says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." So America is not a place of happiness for the elect, the prophets of the Lord. They understand that it's a shadow of death, and the people that want to live in darkness will fall victim, for all the ploys and all the gimmicks that Esau has planned for them. But only the elect will be able to rise above all that madness. They won't feel trapped. They won't feel cornered by this so-called white man system. They're gonna be delivered by Yahushua. All right, and there's so much in the scriptures that addresses this situation, man. Because the scripture talks about the truth shall set you free. That only gonna make more sense for the elect, man. Because these people that want to come to America and escape tyranny and all that stuff, they're just choosing one destruction for another. Only true freedom comes from Yahweh Shem Shai. And that is not a precept here, because it's total madness, man. So this is Psalms chapter 64, verse 8. It says, So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So it's messed up, man. America has just been made a scapegoat, man, by these people. So much madness, man. You don't really see the Chinese folks on the news all the time, talking about irrelevant bullshit. Because they got everything, man. They got things in control over there. That's the way the Most High set it up. It's always with Esau society. That folks think that so-called freedom of speech could be used to destroy, a president under the guise of, trying to inform the people. But that's not the way the game is being played, man. They just want destruction to take place, man. They want their new world order. So whatever they want to do, they would do it, man. Cause so much strife and envy to take place. All right? And then there's more, you know, you look at Proverbs chapter 22. In verse 10, it says, "Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease." So this Edomites, man, the kingdom of Edomites, man, has been nothing much but contention to the whole world, man. That's why the Messiah is going to destroy the kingdom of the Edomites, man, wherever they are. You know, the Lord is going to destroy it. You know, it's because the Messiah is pulling the plug on Esau's rulership, and his power structure is falling apart, man. The Messiah has already condemned it, you know. Let's put a stop work order. You know, that stop work order is no joke, you know. For these folks that are in the construction business, when you have that stop work order, that's the last thing you ever have in mind, man. So that's exactly what the Messiah is doing to these Edomites, man. Their rulership is going to come to an end. You know, whatever they've built up, they can't handle it, you know. So the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is going to destroy it. All right. And one last precept. This is Psalms chapter 50. Psalms chapter 52, from verse 4 to verse 6. It just lets you know that the Messiah is going to turn America upside down, man. You know, so I'm just going to show you the precepts. Then, you know, Lord willing, you just read through that. Because you know how it is, man. This Edomite society is falling apart. So, Kahalal Yabashim Yashab Shem Kwakadash, double honors and salutations to an apostle of real stone who rule well. I can stay steady in the faith, man. Fight the good fight. You know, never give up, man. The Lord Yabashim Yashai is in charge, and the Edomite rulership is coming to an end. And the elect, you know, of the nation of Israel, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, they're going to have a last laugh, man. An everlasting laugh, you know, that laugh of salvation. You know, laughter is coming, man. We're going to have a good time seeing the downfall of America, the EU, Russia, all these Edomite kingdoms, man. They're going to fall apart because that's the way the Most High has ordained it to be. Shalom.